Hello and welcome back to the Fartin Martin channel. Oh god. Okay, we're going to go with this take because I'm not doing this again. So, from the constructive criticism on my last video, I've been told to kind of make it a little bit shorter, and stuff like that, but this is some long form content. We're not going to be having strictly long videos like this, but these kind of videos I want to be long because I want to talk about each and every one of these shows and cartoons somewhat in depth. I don't want it to be too crazy long, but I gotta give every show their fair shake. And another adaptation that I'm going to be doing from the last video is I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to be extremely careful with how I use the S plus tier, because I realized last video I went too ham on the S plus tier and it was just counterintuitive to the ranking. So the new rule for this tier list is that there can only be 5 shows in the S plus tier. So that's going to really motivate me to, not abuse the S plus tier. So we're about to get right into it. Like I said, I've been told that the video is too long, and I appreciate that criticism. So I'm tempted to break it up into parts, but part of me just wants to release it as a full thing and probably put timestamps. So that way, if you wanted to just see where my summarized ranking would be, I'm going to leave some timestamps for that. But for people who want to enjoy the ride and want to hang out for a little bit and hear what I got to say about all the shows, I want to give that to you guys as well. So I really appreciate you guys for your time and the opportunity of you guys chilling with me. And yeah, let's get right into it. So, Yu-Gi-Oh! What an amazing show to start off with. So, we're not going to get so crazy with the S plus tier this video, and let me just try to contextualize these rankings now, in a more appropriate way. Okay, so S plus tier is obviously God tier. That's obviously the best of the best. S tier is really, really, really good. I think A will be just good. B will be actually, now that I think about it, A should be pretty good. I don't know. Oh, damn, this is kind of hard. All right, we know that C is average. C is average in my eyes, and D is below average. B is slightly above average. A is highly above average. S is very highly above average. And now I understand. Okay, so if I was to say this show, it's definitely above average. And it definitely belongs in the A tier, I believe. So now we're asking if we think it should be an S tier show. I think it should. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Should get into the S tier because it was so good that literally entire toys, but a whole card system came from this show. It really, and it had multiple sequel series. It's like a Pokemon when you think about it. It's as good as, well, not as good, but it was on some Pokemon level shit. All right. Kung Fu Panda. Now this is just one of many series here that is based off of a movie and a continuation of a movie. The Kung Fu Panda movie, then they came out with this cartoon. And as a kid, I always liked it, and then as a teenager, I was like, oh, this is kind of stupid because some of them weren't properly executed. But I think this cartoon, it was definitely above average. I can say that. Um, it had a lot of funny moments, and it didn't feel like a bastardization of the actual movie. It felt like an appropriate. Um, does it deserve A tier? Let's hold off on that for now. We're gonna hold off on that. Um, let's see here. Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. The Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. Dude, that was really an amazing. So I got, just to give you guys a reference, is I got shows from Nickelodeon, Nicktoons, and Nick. And Jimmy Timmy. Oh, and even movies. I got live action shows and movies, live action movies that were aired on the networks. Jimmy Timmy Power Hour, that was amazing. Seeing a crossover between two of like some of your favorite cartoons, and for it to be so good, you know, we were really blessed to have that. Like, I can't really think of too many crossovers that did it that well. So, Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom. See, I'm not like a crazy Danny Phantom fan. I would say maybe I put him at an A, you know? Cuz I'm serious. This video, I'm not going to go so crazy and just bless up the top of the list. I want it to be like somewhat not evenly distributed, but like, you know, I want it to be reasonable. Danny Phantom was really good. Oh, I really liked it. Catchy theme song, nice characters. It's probably one of Butch Hartman's best shows when I think about it. You know, aside from Fairy Odd Parents. Okay, Jimmy Neutron. Damn, that's really good. Jimmy Neutron is a S rank show. That's no cap. No cap. Jimmy Neutron is S ranked. Okay? In fact, I think it would go like this for me. Get out of here. Jimmy Neutron. Would I rather a world with Yu-Gi-Oh or Jimmy Neutron? That's actually hard. We'll get into the more nuanced stuff later, actually. So we'll hold off on that. Speed Racer. I'll put this over here. It was a very good cartoon, but I wouldn't say it's Danny Phantom level good. Is that fair to say? Ned's Declassified Survival Guide. Dude, that cartoon or that show was absolutely hilarious, bro. Like, and that shit just like, it was good. It was good. I don't want to just keep saying that. I want to like give a little bit more description to the actual show. But I feel like if you're a real, actually no, let me not say that. I was about to say if you're a real Nickelodeon fan, you would know. But a lot of people haven't watched the show. And granted, I only watched I only watched like I don't know, maybe, you know, like 10, 20 episodes in my life. Let's see here. Mighty B. I had it in my mind that I wanted this show to be very highly ranked because I was actually a really big fan of the character and the shenanigans she would get into. You know, I'm tempted to put her up in that S tier, but you see, I put Ned in S tier. Did I really just do that? I keep doing that. I keep just blessing up the S tier. What am I doing, guys? I can't get it. I can't stop like blessing up all these shows. All right. We're not going to go back on what we done. So, Mighty B. As good as Danny Phantom? I would say so. I would say I would put them in the same tier. Oh, damn. Oh, no, fuck. All right. You guys did not see that? That didn't happen? All right. This movie, this is a fairly odd movie. The very first what's it called? Very Odd Parents live action movie that they made. And when this was happening, I was so happy. Like, I don't know what it was about seeing a live action grown up version of Timmy Turner that really got to me, but I really wanted to see it. And I didn't even realize it was Drake from Drake and Josh when I was a kid, because I don't know why I didn't make that connection, but I was just like, dude, this is freaking amazing, dude. And I was so hyped to and so badly wanted to see it. I remember one time when I was in New Jersey, I said something I shouldn't have to my step grandma, and she told me I couldn't watch the movie, and I cried. I cried so hard. I was like crying really bad, bro. So like when I think about this movie, I want to put it up here, you know what I'm saying? But I know people are going to have a problem with that. People are going to be like, "What?" But I don't know, man. It's just the nostalgia taking over. Yeah, I can't trip like that. Yeah, I can't trip like that. Let me chill. It did good. Okay. Okay, here we go. Backyard. Backyard? What? Back in the backyard. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm sorry if your ears, I'm sorry if your brain cells are diminishing. I want to be good. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, no, let me shut up. No, I gotta talk. All right, here we go. All right, that's cringe. I'm just gonna cut this out at this point. All right, here we go. So this show was awesome. It was hilarious. I love the pig, the mouse, the weasel, the dog, even the cows. Obviously, you know, this show is really good. It's definitely got to get A tier for me. Definitely got to get A tier. Wild Grinders. This shit was so cool. Like, I don't know how many of you guys are watching are skateboard fans and cartoon fans, but if you're a skateboard fan and a cartoon fan, this cartoon was the shit for you, man. This shit made skating look so fun, bro. But like, if I was to say it's better than Danny Phantom, I'd have to be tripping. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta put it like on this ranking. Oh, I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that one. If anything, I would put it up here. You know, it'd have to be the top of B tier if I was to put it in B tier. But I think it's good enough to be in A tier, to be honest. Because the dog was a very memorable character and it was funny. A lot of the characters in this show were funny. And swag, bro. Yeah, I'm going to leave it in A tier. Cat Dog, oh my gosh. Cat Dog is one of those series that is just, it's legendary, bro. It's like way better than Ned for me. Because I'm more partial to the cartoons in general. I feel like Cat Dog is one of those shows that really was like really amazing. It's S tier. It has to be. Cat Dog has to be S tier. Like, can we just be honest, guys? Cat Dog is S tier? Yeah, I couldn't put it behind Danny Phantom or any of these cartoons when I think about it. It wouldn't make sense to me. I think I'm starting to get vision. I'm starting to understand the truth. There. Cat Dog is S tier, better than Jimmy Neutron. And that's a crazy hot take. I don't know if it is a hot take, but if I had to live in a world without Cat Dog or Jimmy Neutron, man, I'm saying goodbye to Jimmy Neutron. I'm sorry, but Cat Dog was just freaking amazing. I mean, it's a dog and a cat attached to each other, and the crazy sort of scenarios that come off of that is just hilarious, bro. I think there was an episode where like they were trying to saw each other apart, and it was so hilarious and scary at the same time. It's amazing, bro. It's amazing. Honestly, when I keep looking at Ned Declassified Survival Guide, it being with the greats and S tier is just kind of hard for me to like fathom. I want to put it in the A tier, to be honest, but it does have a special place in my heart, in a lot of our hearts, because the comedy was special. I'll leave it in S tier for now. Okay, this is probably going to be a hot take, but when Rise of the TMNT, I have to say something real quick about Rise of the TMNT. I am so sorry to the people who made this show, and I was so ignorant and such an asshole that I decided to what's it called? Write off this show before ever giving it a chance. Because this show was really one of the most passionate and love-filled versions of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that we have ever gotten. And the fact that the show got canceled is just so heartbreaking in retrospect for me, because I was sitting there just straight up hating on it. I just was hating on it. I didn't even give it a chance. And they were just trying their best. And they had so much hate from so much people, bro. And it doesn't make sense when I think about it in retrospective, because I was so concerned with how it was different, and it was different than the CGI 2012 series. But when you think about it, if they were going to do something different, like from the 2012 series, returning to 2D and using an animation style that is so expressive and so dynamic, it's the absolute, it makes so much sense why they did what they did in retrospect for me. But at the time, I just looked at it and just thought it was just a cop-out or something. I thought it was like, oh, this is the Teen Titans Go of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I can't believe it. Like, the episodes are so short and everything's so snappy, and like, I wasn't thinking of it in a good way. I was like, man, it's just comedy. I was just hating on it. And yes, it is. A lot of it is just is comedy, and a lot of it is kind of like the pacing is like way too fast in a lot of parts, but the characters themselves were amazing. Like, absolutely amazing. Like, and the show is just so funny. It just makes me laugh so hard. As a Turtles fan, this makes me feel, I think I have to put it into the S+ tier, guys. I'm sorry. Like, I know that's one of the 5 spots in the S+ tier being taken, but we need to give back the justice and love to the Rise Turtles as soon as possible. They deserve it. Voltron. Such an amazing show. A very good show. I think we'll have to put it in Voltron. I think we'll have to put it in A tier. Making Friends. This is a very good cartoon. It was about this girl that was mean to her friend, which is the blue one. And I don't know why I'm saying it's about the green one, but the green one is just so much more memorable in my mind when I'm trying to remember. She just had this funny ass personality, and I liked it. I liked the dynamic between these characters, and it was a unique style. So I'd say it's more interesting than Wild Grinders to me. I'm not too sure about. Yeah, I think it'll fit in the A tier right there. iCarly. Oh yes, we love iCarly. We truly love iCarly, don't we? Yes, it belongs right in front of Ned's. I always thought that iCarly was better than Ned's Declassified Survival Guide, but in terms of live action shows, these are two of my favorite, so they belong in the S tier for me. Power Rangers Samurai. This was really awesome. I wouldn't say it's better than that. I wouldn't even say it's... Yeah, it would fit right here for me. It's over Voltron, obviously, because Voltron kind of like takes from that Power Rangers energy, and it just does Voltron better, in my opinion. El Tigre. This was really nice because it's just like such a natural way to get introduced to Hispanic culture throughout this cartoon. Like that, just for one, that's one big benefit. And also I really loved cats and tigers, and the way his powers worked were freaking awesome, bro. He had a belt that turned him into El Tigre, bro. That shit was hard as hell, bro. That shit was even harder than freaking Danny Phantom. Honestly, like it kind of is, guys. It kind of is more hard than Danny Phantom. Let's be honest. El Tigre, bro. The battles he had with his grandpa were so freaking awesome, dude. And the funniness of his little sister, or I don't know, I guess his sister, she always kind of reminded me of Bulma too, because of the blue hair. That shit was funny, dude. It's actually like, that's tough if I want to put it in the S tier. And I feel bad about doing that to Danny Phantom, like pushing him back on the top of his tier, because he was defining that tier for a while, but El Tigre is something else, man. Like when I think about it, I almost care about El Tigre more than Ned's Declassified Guide. Truly, yeah, honestly, truly I could live without Ned's Declassified Guide and all of these cartoons just to have El Tigre, because El Tigre was that special to me. Not iCarly. So yeah, El Tigre is S tier. Very good cartoon. Drake and Josh. Drake and Josh is just classic. Better than Ned. Alright, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal was kind of cool, because I specifically remember this one episode where he basically becomes Super Saiyan, and that shit was just amazing. Like, he literally became Super Saiyan. So yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. He's got he's cooler than Wild Grinders, that's for sure. I would have been sad to not have Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal. It was one of those continuations of Yu-Gi-Oh! That I actually liked. Like, I didn't really like Arc V that much. Arc V just kind of dropped the ball for me. Let's see here. If I was to... This is kind of hard because I remember a lot of times I didn't like Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal, because compared to Yugi, this protagonist was just so kind of annoying. But I think that was the point. He wasn't too annoying that you hated him. He was just like, bro, this guy's like incompetent. But then he had the moments that he had when he snapped were so much harder because he came up from that position. So, damn, that's hard when I think about it though, because these are classics. Like, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal just kind of plays on my love for Yu-Gi-Oh! Obviously, because top of S tier over there, and anime because of the Dragon Ball moment where he literally became Super Saiyan. That shit was so cool. This is hard. This is hard, guys. Okay, let's be honest. It's better than this stuff. It's better than that. It's better than Voltron. To lose Power Rangers Samurai. Nah, I couldn't. So I think it belongs there. All right. The Jimmy Timmy Power Hour 2. Jimmy Timmy Power Hour 2. Honestly, I kind of feel weird ranking the movies, above your boy, above El Tigre. Feels weird to put a movie higher on the ranking than the whole of El Tigre's show. That just doesn't make sense. I don't think the movie's that good. But I have this one over here because this was the first time it ever happened. And the first time it ever happened, it blew your freaking mind. But the second time it happened, it wasn't that impressive. But it still was a good story. So maybe like over here, I'd put it. It was a good story though. And they did more like swapping universes, so you got to see more of the different art styles, so that was pretty cool. But if I had to ask myself if I would rather have had that movie exist or any of these shows up here, I wouldn't be able to put it past much more than just Making Friends and Wild Grinders and the rest of this stuff down here. Even though this show, it kind of feels weird putting the show here, at least at the top. It makes more sense for him to be there. All right, Power Rangers Dino Thunder. It wasn't my favorite of the Power Rangers, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I really am not too familiar with this one. I'm surprised I actually put it on the list. I think I'll just put it here because I kind of like everything else more than that. Harvey Beaks. Harvey Beaks was a pretty good show. It had feel-good moments in it, but sometimes it just felt like a little flat on what I wanted out of a cartoon, I guess. It just was it was such a slice of life. It was almost like a show like Clarence from Cartoon Network, but just kind of like zanier with all the animals and stuff. But I would say I'd even like Wild Grinders more than Harvey Beaks. Which is kind of sad, though, because there were some really good morals in Harvey Beaks. Honestly, it had really good morals, really good moments, and beautiful animation style. Really nice voice acting, but it just, by the time I watched it, yeah, let me preface this by saying, by the time I watched it, it didn't feel like I was at the right age range for what it was aiming at. So that's why that kind of plays into my ranking here. But I'd definitely have to say the quality of the show would be better than these shows here in B tier. And you know what? Let me be honest. It's probably better than the Wild Grinders and Making Friends. Let me just switch these for now. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for it. It's an A tier show, but yeah. Actually, maybe I'll put it here for now, guys. I'll put it here for now. At the top of B tier. Because I realize I have no shows on the average tier yet. But I don't like to say any show is average. It just doesn't feel right to me, honestly. It's not like the way I look at shows. The Loud House. The Loud House was good. It was, whenever it came on, I really did kind of like it. I guess I'd like it more than, I don't know about more than the Kung Fu Panda show or Speed Racer, Harvey Beaks, and everything about it. It was just like, if it was on, I didn't mind watching it. It's not like, but if I could find something better, I was going to try. But if I had to watch it, I would watch it. The Fantastic Four cartoon, definitely a way better action cartoon than any of these other action cartoons. Let's just be real. Like, it's freaking Marvel, Fantastic Four. Especially like me really liking the live action Fantastic Four film and getting like a whole cartoon on Nick, it just felt like, yes, that's what I needed, man. I'd say it's an A tier show. Top of A tier for sure. You know. Rugrats. Rugrats is like it's like an S tier show. Truly. Better than Cat Dog. Better than any of this stuff. You grew up with Rugrats, and Rugrats grew up with you. Sam and Cat. Sam and Cat. This is interesting. Sam and Cat is definitely... I liked it more than Drake and Josh. Actually, what? What am I saying? I don't know about that. I was about to put it right behind iCarly, but yeah, I'll put it right behind Drake and Josh. SpongeBob SquarePants. Come on, guys. Another S plus tier. SpongeBob SquarePants is one of the reasons why Nick was as popular as it was. You know? It really was hilarious. So many hilarious, awesome moments from that show. The CGI Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 2012 Turtles. Definitely the top of S tier for me. Because I'm just a really big Turtles fan. So, that's how that happened. Tough Puppy. It was a funny show. I'd definitely say it's better than Loud House for me. And I think the reason why I liked it so much is because the voice actor for the dog, I forgot his name, Dudley or Doug. He's from iCarly. He's Spencer from iCarly, and his voice is just hilarious. And Kitty, the characters had like nice personalities, like really distinct personalities. So now if I ask myself if I liked it more than Back in the Backyard, that's kind of tough. And Voltron, that's kind of tough, you know? Yeah, I don't know about that. But I definitely like it more than that second movie and the rest of these. So it's an A tier show for me. It's A tier. My Life as a Teenage Robot. Very catchy, very awesome. Honestly, I feel like I want to put it in front of Danny Phantom. I want to put it in front of... Yeah, I would definitely put it in front of Danny Phantom. Honestly. And I'm almost tempted to go over the Fantastic Four cartoon, honestly. Because the reason why I like the Teenage Robot so much is because, like, specifically there was this episode that I remember of her sisters, because she's XJ9, so they showed XJ8, XJ7, XJ6, and it was so interesting, just like the amount of creativity put into the world and just the art style. It's just so unique. It's just so one of a kind. And I feel like the Fantastic Four action cartoon was really great, but just a straight up uniqueness that is My Life as a Teenage Robot, I feel like it beats out Fantastic Four in concept, because Fantastic Four had an amazing stuff to go off of, which is the comics, but My Life as a Teenage Robot is its own thing, you know? So, yeah, I think it's definitely top of A tier. And now that I think about it more, I did all that talking, but now I think about it more, I would much prefer a world with it over Ned's or Sam and Cat or even Drake and Josh, to be real. Now, we're coming up to El Tigre. That's tough. Do I like life as a teenage robot more or less than El Tigre? Damn. Am I really willing to do that? Oh, that's hard. But I think I am. iCarly even? I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm willing to go that far and just say, you know what, iCarly? Not even you were good enough to be it better than this cartoon. Oh God, what am I doing? You know what? That show is just that good. That show is just that good that it deserves to be right behind Jimmy Neutron in terms of how awesome it is, in my opinion. You know, and El Tigre, for some reason, there's like this barrier between My Life as a Teenage Robot and El Tigre, where iCarly, El Tigre just can't cross iCarly for me. Like I keep what I'm doing as I'm like adjusting these is I'm asking myself, would I rather live in a world with this or that show? And that's how I understand if I want to move them up or down the list or not. And for me personally, El Tigre, as awesome as it was, I don't think it would be enough for me to let go of iCarly. But My Life as a Teenage Robot would be. So for that reason, that's why that ranking is there. And honestly, with that logic, I should be like moving iCarly past this movie, you would think, but this movie, the crossover, was just so fantastical to see that happen. It's one of the only examples of a crossover being actually like super memorable in my opinion for me. So yeah. Swindle. This is a really obscure Nick movie where Noah something, the guy who plays Gibby in iCarly, he has like his own movie, and it was actually a pretty interesting movie when I remember it. People are going to hate me for putting this movie in front of Dino Thunder, but keep in mind, some of these shows I have not really seen enough of, and that may factor into their ranking. And Dino Thunder, I just didn't see enough of it for me to put it over this movie, I guess. I just remember really liking this movie. It was an interesting concept. Rush Zone. This is a pretty interesting cartoon. It always kind of like captivated me. But it didn't really do much with itself. So it'll go there. All right. Timmy Turner. Boom. S+ tier. I don't think I need to really explain that. I don't think I really need to explain that, so I'm just going to let that happen. Penguins in the Madagascar, we're going to put you. You're a very funny, great show. I loved the Penguins in Madagascar, and you guys made them even awesomer. The comedy in this show is worth more than the action in Voltron, in my opinion. And the Zexel, geez, that's kind of hard. If I would rather world with penguins or Zexel. Yeah, I would take the penguins over Zexel. Reluctantly, I would do that. Power Rangers Samurai, would I be willing to do that? Yeah, I don't think so. I think Power Rangers Samurai kind of was more cool to me than that. Avatar, let's see here. Yep. All right, so now we're just gonna get back to the ranking. Rabbids Invasion, very funny show. Very funny show. It's definitely more interesting than these shows to me. Just because of the random comedy that happened in this show. Loud House is just kind of cool though. I like the art style, I like the concept, but why do I feel like Rabbids was just more entertaining to me than that? Not than Making Friends. I'll put it at the top of B tier. The Fred movie. This movie was pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of liked it a lot. Reluctantly, I'll put it all the way up here even, I think. Yeah, I'll put the Fred movie up there just because, yeah, I think it's a better movie than this movie for me. I mean, like, if I had to live with this one or this one, I would go with this one, but I would not think it's better than any of these series, so that's where that ranking is. The Monsters vs. Aliens show. This show was, it was all right for me. It was a very well-made show, I'll admit. Maybe it should go behind the Kung Fu Panda Legends of Awesomeness. That makes sense, because they're probably similar in entertainment value for me. Yeah, that makes sense. Chalk Zone. Chalk Zone is a classic, and it'll definitely go in front of Making Friends for me, in front of Wild Grinders, in front of this movie, in front of that movie. Tough Puppy? Yeah, actually. I would put it in front of Tough Puppy, but I don't know about Back in the Backyard and Voltron and all that. That stuff is kind of like next level entertaining, but Chalk Zone is a very good show. Deserves being A tier. Arc V was just not it for me, you know? I feel like it's cooler than Haunted Hathaways, but not really cooler than even Monsters vs. Alien. Jungle Fury. I really liked Jungle Fury. Jungle Fury was just cool as hell to me. That's tough. If I think Jungle Fury, it's definitely cooler than the Fred movie. That's for sure. I mean, I couldn't have Jungle Fury behind the Fred movie. You know. As much as that movie was entertaining. In front of Tough Puppy. That's tough. That's tough. Yeah, I'd reluctantly do that. Chalk Zone, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many shows this show is tanking, so I'm just gonna leave it at there because I don't think it's not touching these other shows for me. All right, Henry Danger. It was a good show. I'd say Henry Danger is probably better than the Rabbids cartoon in its entirety. You know, it makes sense. See, looking at this tier list, you're seeing like, yeah, this kind of makes sense. This feels fair. Oh, Invader Sim. Invader Zim is definitely something special. It belongs in the S tier. Right behind My Life as a Teenage Robot. That seems fair. Just the crazy weird things that happen in this episode. See, that's tough. It's right. When I mean it's like behind Teenage Robot, it's right behind. It's not even like an inch in front. Or no, it's not like it's like an inch behind, bro. Like, because Gib, the little robot is so funny. Excuse me. All the characters are so funny, but the charm of Teenage Robot show and its execution was also incredibly creative. So both these shows are incredibly creative in my eyes. And so is Jimmy Neutron, of course. So, yeah, very creative, very stimulating, awesome content. Yeah. So, yeah, this one just has to go, yeah, so Dragon Ball Z Kai, it's so bad. I just really had to put it in D tier. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, guys? Like, I just had to put it in D tier, bro. Like, yeah, man. All right, Ricky, Ricky, Dicky, and Don. Ricky, Dicky, and Don. It was a funny show. I liked it. I liked this show. In fact, I don't know if I like it more than Kung Fu Panda's show or Speed Racer cartoon, but I liked it more than the Monsters vs. Aliens cartoon, so it's sandwiched in there in the B tier. Very good show, though. Splitting Atom. This is the actor from Henry Danger, and he splits into like multiple versions of himself. And it was a really funny, awesome movie, to be honest. I feel like Haunted Hathaway's... No, I really like the charm of this show, so it's staying there. Yeah, Splitting Atom, good movie. Sanjay and Craig is like an S tier cartoon to me. Not better than El Tigre, but it's definitely better than these 3 live action shows to me. So that's where it goes. All Grown Up. All Grown Up. Do I like All Grown Up more than Zexel or Arc V? Arc V, oh yeah, definitely more than Arc V. Monsters vs. Aliens cartoon, yeah, I liked it more than that. Ricky, Dicky, and Don. Oh, that's kind of tough. I don't know about that. It just doesn't... I really liked seeing the characters grow up, but more than an entire show of Ricky, Dicky, and Don, I don't think so. All right, Legend of Korra. Now, a lot of people, I think we've all heard people go through their phase of not liking Legend of Korra, but once you realize what Legend of Korra was doing, you realize this show was special and we were blessed to have it. We were blessed to have this show. Because you see where Avatar is. He's in the S+ tier, right behind the GOAT. So, like, Legend of Korra is awesome. But would I live with it more happily than one of my favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoons? Nah, I wouldn't. I would be content with just having Avatar in this cartoon over, these two. So that's why that's there. But I would rather have Legend of Korra than Yu-Gi-Oh! Or any of the stuff below it. That's how much I love Legend of Korra. Oh, we're getting close to the end. Thank goodness, guys. Because, yeah, I didn't want to, like, run up a mad clock on this. And I think we're getting through this at a moderate pace. I think so. All right. Robot and Monster. This cartoon was just, like, I liked it a lot. I thought it was really sweet. It had really good moments in it where I remember just being like, dude, this cartoon is pretty good. Now, if I like it more than the second Jimmy Timmy movie, that's a little hard to say, to be honest. Like, if I didn't get that second movie for this cartoon, I would have been like, I don't know if I like it that much. So I'll put it right there. It's an A-tier show. Breadwinners. This show is hilarious, dude. This show is so funny. This show definitely is better than even Penguins for me. Definitely than that. Mighty B, that's tough. That's tough with Mighty B. I don't know about that. And it's definitely not getting over Danny Phantom. So I think it's safe to put it behind the great Mighty B. Because Mighty B was just... She was such a character. You know, she was really something special. Dragon Ball GT aired on Nicktoons, so that's why it's on this list. And if we're looking at that, I mean, I didn't really watch it that much on Nicktoons. I didn't actually catch it on Nicktoons that often. So, but it did go on Nicktoons, and I have watched the show, so it didn't meet the qualifications for this list. That's tough, because if we're thinking of like how it aired on Nicktoons, if we're just talking about the show itself, if we're just talking, let's just talk about the show itself. It's definitely better than Yu-Gi-Oh for me. And would I say it's better than Legend of Korra for me? Yes, I would, in fact. But better than the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon? See, this is hard. This is Dragon Ball versus Turtles. These are two of like some of my favorite like things, man. It really is. And but to put it over that cartoon, I have such a love in my heart for Dragon Ball GT, though. I think it's truly the best successor to Dragon Ball Z, and that's really hard. The Baby arc, the Super 17 arc, the what else? What was one of those arcs? Baby arc, Super 17 arc, and the Omega Shenron arc. Better than whatever stuff was going on in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon, which was, you know... that's hard, guys. I think I have to put it in front of the Turtles, as reluctant as I am to do so, because I love the Turtles and I love this version of Shredder and everything. I feel like this cartoon, April, was kind of annoying. And there were other things that held the CGI series back from being better than GT, in my opinion. So I think GT takes top of S tier. Which is kind of hard, though, because this is like a Nick. Like, you know this was Nick. This aired on Nicktoons, but, like, you didn't really know that. It was like, this isn't even that much of a part of people's, like, Nicktoons experience. So I'm tempted to just bring it back a little bit, scale it back a little bit. But as the show itself, I mean, Super Saiyan 4 is way cooler than if we didn't get this series. I would have been able to live with just the 2003 series and get my Super Saiyan 4. So, but I feel biased putting let me shut up. Okay, Jimmy Timmy Power Hour 3. This movie goes snugly, definitely in front of the second one. It's definitely more memorable than the second one for me. And in front of the Fred movie. Screw that Fred movie, honestly. If we're talking about this movie I got here. And do I care about it more than the entirety of the Tough Puppy series? Yes, I do, in fact. I think I do. Jungle Fury, even? Now that's tough. That's tough. I think we'll just put it behind Jungle Fury because Jungle Fury was one of my favorite Power Rangers. It truly was. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie. We'll start off by saying it's definitely in front of the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. I don't think there's any movies that are in aside from this movie. So yeah, we could put it here because we know that this movie was just absolutely hilarious. I'm a goofy goober. Yeah, so we'll put it there. S tier in front of the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour. Planet Sheen. I actually didn't hate this show. I thought it was pretty funny. But I don't think I could, in good conscience, put it anywhere above B tier. So it could confidently be at the top of B tier. I feel weird, though, having the Planet Sheen show in front of Kung Fu Panda Legends of Awesomeness and Nicky, Ricky, Dicky, and Don. Am I insane? Maybe this Henry Danger ranking just doesn't make a little too much sense being at the top here. But Henry Danger was pretty memorable. Let's just put Planet Sheen over here where he belongs. I don't know why I just thought, yeah, Planet Sheen, top of B tier. Let me chill a little bit. Fanboy and Chum Chum. Fanboy and Chum Chum. This show is so freaking hilarious, dude. I think I could confidently put it at the top of A tier. Yeah, honestly, when you think about it, even looking at the picture, Fanboy and Chum Chum just has the kind of energy that Breadwinners has. You know, just the spontaneousness, but the art style, the CGI of this show is just so funny. Iron Man cartoon, Armored Adventures. It's definitely cooler than anything in B tier, I think. And definitely cooler than the Fred movie. And it's funny, like, I'm still confident that the Fred movie, I care about it more than these series and consecutively, you know. Maybe the Fred movie doesn't belong in A tier when I think about it. But it had John Cena in it, guys. It had John Cena in it. Let's not forget that. And there was a time that Fred was interesting. We all know that. I'm missing a show here. I think I was supposed to have Marvin, which is a show, but it's not in here. Oh, wait, I lost him. All right. Armored Adventures. Cooler than that. Cooler than Jungle Fury. I don't know about that now. Yeah, I think Iron Man is comfortably around the awesomeness of Power Rangers. And the final show, the Thundermans. Wait, why is Victorious in C tier? How did this happen, guys? Oh, wait, here's Marvin. How did this happen? All right, so these three are unranked. Let's put them back down. Oh, no, they're on there. Okay, so let's start with Marvin. Marvin was kind of interesting show. I'll give it a chance over the Dino Thunder. But Swindle, just to see like Gibby's Noah Monk, which is Gibby's actor from iCarly, just to see him in his own movie and stuff. I kind of care about it more than the entirety of this series, which is the guy who played Fred, his own show. And he didn't even act like Fred in this show, but he didn't act different enough from Fred that I was like, okay, you know. Victorious is a really good show. It has to get in front of Ned for sure, but I don't know if it's in front of Sam and Cat for me, because just the Sam was one of the best parts of iCarly when you think about it. The way she bounced off of the rest of the characters, because she would bully him. It was just funny to see how a little girl would like basically bitch a grown man. These two were friends, so that was the fun dynamic. And then she was like not really mean to Gibby. She was just like, this is just another person that I'm just gonna, you know, act like myself around. But, you know, she didn't like straight up bully Gibby. I don't think so. She didn't bully him any worse than she would do Fred or some shit. All right, the Thundermans. The superpowers in this show were pretty cool. I'd say it was cooler than Henry Danger. Yeah, top of B tier. I'd say so. Feels kind of weird to put it in front of Kung Fu Panda, but I guess I would. For me, it was just the abilities that one of those kids ran really fast. The other one, I think the girl could fly or something, and I kind of forget what their powers did, actually. Now I think about it. But they were cool. They were as cool. They were cooler than Henry Danger to me. Did Henry Danger even have powers? Am I tripping, or did he have powers? That was a good show that I liked it as much as I did, and I don't even remember if he had powers or not. But yeah, looking at this ranking, wow, I'm proud of myself. This time is a lot better than last time because, one, I finished sooner than I did last time with a actually, this is just right around where I finished my last video, honestly. I finished it right around this time. But I had more shows to rank this time. So I think I did better. And I'm also proud of the way that I didn't I'm sorry, Rise. I just curved Rise like that. But let's be honest, better than SpongeBob SquarePants and all of the classic moments in Very Odd Parents as well, I don't think so. But it definitely gets its spot on the S+ ranking. I think so. And it feels weird having Dragon Ball GT here, you know? After everything I said about, like, how these guys are, like, really Nick. You can see the orange border on them. It's Nick. This just doesn't feel like a Nick show, you know what I mean? But it aired on Nick. At least Dragon Ball Z Kai was, like, a exclusive release. That was, like, you knew that was on Nick. Like, there was nowhere else you were going to find Dragon Ball Z Kai at a certain time. You know? But, like, GT, it just feels so weird to put it here. But I do like this show more than these shows. I think I do. Do I like Legend of Korra more than... See, this is a very tight ranking here. These are like... This is S tier. Let's not write off S tier. Just because these guys are an S+ tier, these guys are in a very amazing tier. These guys are all amazing shows. And I think I can... and movie. And I think I can confidently say that. Like, these are all very amazing. These are very, very good. Very, very good shows. I think so. They'll keep your attention, that's for sure. Towards the end of this ranking, it's kind of like, it kind of diminishes a bit. And then here, it really, it starts to diminish a lot for me. But at least the ones towards the top of B tier are pretty good. Then when you get to Planet Sheen and Monsters vs. Aliens, I mean, All Grown Up was better than Planet Sheen, let's be honest. So, yeah. Once you get here, you're like, all right, this is just not that interesting or good. Oh, but looking at this, I mean, look at the difference. Look at that difference for the bottom row of B tier and the top row of S tier. Invader Zim totally beats out all this shit. So I think I did good in the ranking. I think I did justified in the ranking. Yeah. I'm pretty confident in this. Fanboy and Chum Chum is just very funny. It honestly kind of deserves to be in S tier. Better than Ned's. You know, Ned earned my respect that I didn't even really watch the full series, yet it still ends up in S tier for me, like just because I remember how good it was. And the fact that I really put Ned Declassified Survival Guide over all these cartoons in A tier, that truly has to say something about the respect level for the show. I think it's just the editing, the sounds that the show made, because they would make like some Timmy Turner cartoon. It would just make some like cartoon sounds in a live action show, and for some reason that like really got to me. And the way they directed it, it felt like a cartoon sometimes. It just felt so animated, and I love that about that show. But Fanboy and Chum Chum is just so good. So it definitely deserves to be at the top of A tier for sure. But once we get into this territory, it's like you're really going to put Fanboy and Chum Chum in the same tier as Invader Zim and Drake and Josh and Sanjay and Craig. That's really hard. But it stands well with these shows. Yep, I'm confident. I think I'm just going to move this up a little bit, though. Better than Harvey Beaks a little bit for me. Kung Fu Panda. Because it's Kung Fu Panda, you know? It's Kung Fu Panda. I have to respect it a little bit more than that. But what these live action shows did and executed was more impressive to me than what this did. All right. Well, guys, that just about wraps up this ranking. I think I'm about to head out. Let me just end you guys off with a last little quick analysis on the S+ tier, and then I'm ready to bounce out. Dragon Ball Z Kai, one of the best, shows to be on the Nicktoons programming block. It kept me coming back every week and really gave me something to look forward to. Avatar: Last Airbender, I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't really need to say anything about that. It's just one of the best animated shows to ever be made. And SpongeBob SquarePants, that shit just gave you hours and hours of laughs and awesomeness. Same with Fairy Odd Parents. It's Fairy Odd Parents is behind SpongeBob, but not by that far. It's still very good. Very, very, very good. And then Rise of the Team NC, I spoke about it earlier. It was a really amazing, underrated show that kind of just got canceled for no good reason. It honestly deserved its chance to really cements itself as one of the best, if not the best, iteration of the Turtles ever created. And I think we all saw that with the Rise of the TMNT movie. If you've seen that movie, it'll just open up your eyes to what a Turtles show or film can really accomplish, which is a lot. It can be really amazing. Yeah. And yeah, that ends it off for me. The discussion on the Nicktoons, Nickelodeon, and Nick Ranked. And for the next tier list video, for the next ranked video, we're going to be doing Adult Swim and Toonami. And we're going to rank all the animes and adult TV shows that were on those programming blocks. So thank you guys so much for your time. I love you all, and I want you to have a wonderful night. Peace out.